Hello, this is Jabo Pones with The Realm. Today I'm going to show you Syrcus Tower. At the current time I'm playing as a healer because I was trying to collect some loot as a healer. Here I'm waiting for the teleport, or you can follow everyone and go through. I'm going to cut everything short here just to try to save time on video. First set of mobs are pretty much garbage mobs before boss fights. These are pretty straightforward. As a tank, some tend to just grab everything, pull them together, let people do AoE damages, and take everything down basically at once. Now, if you're not careful as a healer, you can watch many people die here. The snake / blue dragons, whatever they are, tend to do this huge water damage, and they can take everyone out really quickly if not careful. So as a healer, just try to focus on keeping people alive here. You don't really need to worry too much about the boss or the dragons, and just staying out of the areas of attack. Pretty simple. Alright, now, moving on to the next. Now, depending on which alliance you're in, or party, you'll be marked as an alliance A, B, or C. As you can see, I'm in B right now, which is all the way on the other side when you first come in, so just stick to one of the sides, scroll around. If you run straight through the middle, you're just going to preempt the boss, and things are going to go bad for you. Now, this is probably one of the harder bosses in the whole dungeon, or the raid, I would say. As a healer, it's best here if you focus the target so you can see what's being cast. If you notice, I take a little while to actually get this focused target on, because there is a couple of things you got to watch out for. One is Ancient Flare and Daybreak mostly. And there I go, focus target. Now for focus target, and I'll explain this. Okay, when you get these little orbs on you, these purple orbs, you either run to the lightning stacks there, the lightning that's just going up in the air. These are going to be needed for Daybreak. As you can see, the one over on the right here is still needing one. And the rest are, one already has 3 stacks, and that one's starting to get 1. So you want to build up to a 3 stack. People will also get ice attached to them. When the ice connects to them, it freezes them in place. You want to use someone who gets a fireball on them to unfreeze them and create these water puddles. Now when Ancient Flare is cast, you want to be in the water puddle. This will allow you to not take any damage from Ancient Flare. If you have a fireball attached to you and you run over a water puddle, it will dry it up. Or if you're in a puddle and you have ice hit you and then you get unfrozen, it's most likely going to kill you instantly. As you can see, we have lots of puddles built up here. Guys are running around, unfreezing. So this is going to be going on constantly during this fight. So you need to pay attention to what's on you and who's around you. Now here I gotta go looking around for someone, never finding them. At the same time, ancient flares going off, and I wasn't really paying attention to the focus bar because I was looking for someone. And of course I take damage. Quickly recovering, avoiding areas. And of course at the same time as a healer, trying to keep everyone alive. Now there's these little floating staff things flying around that create all this damage in the area. It's best to just ignore those, but try to avoid their attack areas. Taking them down is just going to take too long. Focus on attacking the boss, and then after daybreak there's a couple ads you need to worry about, and that's it. Here we go, and daybreak. So now you need at least, I believe it's 4 players on the pad to trigger the shield, or force field, whatever you'd want to call it. And this basically is when she does her ability there, it freezes everything. So when the field's up, you don't get frozen, only she does, or the boss. Then there's the couple ads, you need to take those out. Hopefully your tank is doing his job and didn't stay in there with the force field. So quickly take those down. And if you have good DPS, your boss should be pretty close to being dead about now. So this again, focus on attacking the boss as a DPS or tank. And as a healer, watching out and keeping people alive. Another ancient flare, getting in the puddle, no damage. And there we go, this boss is cleared. Like I say, it's one of the harder mechanics of bosses, so you get past this one, the rest is pretty much ease. Alright, so more garbage mobs, just taking them down along with the dragon. Pretty straightforward. The dragon drops down with a nice blow, knocks a few people back, just heal them up, continue. Apparently here our tank didn't really want to grab the boss right away, so it kind of floated around. And then our tank and our party actually grabbed some of the ads and started taking those down at the same time. And there you guys see the main dragon drop, and then just finish off the ads. No real worries here. Pretty easy part. Beginning this fight is fairly simple. Again, as a healer, it's smart to focus the target. I'm not sure if I even did that on this one, but as close range DPS, you want to watch out for some of the area attacks it does. This is best as a long range DPS to fight this boss. Again, watching out for anything on the ground. Just dodging. Oh, there we go. I focused it. So now I know the majority of the attacks that are coming. Now these little clockwork things, I think is what they're called. They come up, and basically the first person to attack them while in the circle is going to get frozen and turned invisible, pretty much. Someone has to do this to allow for any other person of DPS to take it down and kill it. If you don't take all these things down, the boss takes a charge and it does huge damage when it releases. On the right, you can see there's an energy bar that's building up. That's up on the top right. If that builds all the way, that's pretty much a wipe for your whole party. Now, it's not a bad idea to have one healer getting those, but both healers being trapped and not being able to heal is not a good idea. I tend to use an area heal here to make it easier because everyone groups together when he does this attack. Yeah, watching out, try to avoid the spin disc things. I think here actually my laptop was going dead and I needed to run and grab my cord to plug it in so it didn't die and I lose all this footage I just started doing. Alright, when this comes up, there's these little tether lines. Each group is going to get one, and they want to basically, if you're attacking the mob before it's in the tether lines, it's not going to die. It's going to get to 1% and still run around like crazy. Once you get it caught in the lines and it's down, it will stop attacking and do a little pop-up thing. You need these to trigger the jump across bouncy thing. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it the bouncy thing. So fairly simple. Your tanks need to grab these things. If you have good DPS, they can grab it and get hate on it and pull it over there. And then here, I think I had just come back and I'm like, oh crap. Still standing there, and then I'm going to run. Oh yes, I need to jump across. Now if I'd have stayed over there right this last second, I would have died right there. So now you're trapped over on this side until all of these rooks things are destroyed. Bouncing from each one. I believe each side will get 3 of them to destroy. If you just take them all the way down. The little bit of stuff that's going on in between is not really going to hurt you. So if you don't get it down fast enough, you might take a little bit of damage, but it's no big deal. Nothing you can't heal through. Now jumping back across, just stay back where you're at. Continue to work on the boss. He should be almost dead. More destructo discs pop up. Start taking damage from those. I should have avoided them a little better, but I was a little distracted. Yeah, limit break, boom. Drops like a brick. Now it's fine to use limit breaks because they are going to reset between each boss. Alright, here we have more garbage bobs. This one, the dragon is shooting fire. He does like a target with a sort of a dive bomb attack. So you're going to want to watch out for that. If someone has that, if you get the target on you, just try to run away from the group of people to avoid giving a lot of people damage at the same time. There we go. Someone got attacked with it. I just moved out of the way to make sure I didn't get hit. And of course, some more fire attacks. All the dragons are basically the same with some basic attacks. Still fun to see them and fight them. A couple ads here, no big deal. I believe it's only 4 ads. One tank can easily grab them and hold them and attack them down while the main dragon's being killed, and then everyone can focus on the ads or whatever. You could kill the ads at the same time. Whatever works for your group or whatever they're doing. Now we're almost done. We have this boss and one more to go. Now this boss does have a fairly big amount of ads that spawn. Some things to pay attention to. Again, more dodging. Okay, these little slime things spawn up. I use a miasma 2 to basically slow them down so they don't move as fast. Tanks can, and like dragoons can use their stun abilities to basically stop them in their place so that you can take them down even faster. If those do reach the boss, a silence attack is done, and healers and black mages and such get silenced. It only lasts for a few minutes, but it's worth it to not have it happen to you. You can't heal through it, so echo drops do remove it. So again, more slimes. Okay, you get the tethered purple balls on you. These things will make you tiny. They're mainly you want to use them on the ads like the cum-cums. You can use them on the slimes. You cannot use them on the boss. Here I'm just trying to keep everyone alive that's in my party, and still be around if any slime spawns so I could slow them down. And there we go again. Another slime, miasma 2. There's a cum-cum that spawned, so it's good to make those tiny. I think it weakens them when they're small, making it easier to take them down. I finally pull up the focus target. The reason I think I waited for a while is because I didn't really need to worry about it, but it's coming up to an attack that I kind of need to pay attention to, so I set it. When the snakes come out, someone in your party is going to be turned into a frog. Now this is my favorite part, when you get turned into a frog. Now what you want to do is attack one of the snakes, preferably a snake that's not in your party, because if you're attacking the one that's in your party, that one's probably going to attack you back and take you down really fast. Now a lot of people, they just use the frog to burn the boss because it does quite a bit of damage. At the same time, you're going to have one party member turn into an ice cube. Now if the frog is there the first time, you can dethaw the person and break them out of the ice cube, but it's best to just go ahead and leave them in it. If you do break them out, another one should come before the attack comes. And here comes the attack. You need to hide behind the ice cube, or the ice rock. That person, I don't think, made it. Nope, and they died. That's an instant death if you're not hiding behind that thing. I used a lot of area heals in this fight, and in the next fight. Basically makes it a little easier. I have macros set up to where my fairy does area heals at the same time. Oh, I get to be the frog, although it's short-lived. So I just go basically for the boss right there because the boss is almost dead. And bam, boss is gone. Alright, for the final boss. Now this one is pretty simple, but there is a couple mechanics you need to pay attention to. Again, he does an area attack just basically around him. And if you're in this attack, it shoots you back really far. So it's best to try to avoid that. Otherwise, you can just do a little bit of running back to him to attack him. More AoEs in the ground. The yellow circles. When the yellow circles spawn, you need at least one person in them. I don't believe you need two. If you have more than one person, I believe that you still take damage. So if you're near a circle, please step into it. Otherwise, you take damage. If there's someone in one already, don't worry about it. You don't need to get in it. You only need one person in there to trigger it. And there he goes, he disappears, he goes and sits on his little throne over there. And then these meteor ball things spawn. You need to start taking down the small ones first. If you don't take the small ones down, the middle one goes a lot faster, and it's harder to take it down to beat it. And start working on the big one. There will be two phases of this. First phase, you have a single small one to deal with, and then you have the bigger one, which we took down pretty easily and quite fast. He decides to join the fight again. The purple Pell. Basically, if this comes up, people need to gather on that person. If no one's on him, he will die, and you will lose that spot. You just get near him. As soon as it goes up, throw up an area heal. Keep him alive. Afterwards, watch for more areas on the ground to avoid. If you're not on it, you will die. Sometimes the tanks live through it. Majority of the DPS and the healers do not. More circles. Someone was already in that one, so I was like, okay, I'll go grab this one. Good thing about this fight is there's really no ads to worry about. Here I go over and try to help out the other party by raising a guy that they appear to just left laying there. Need all the DPS you can on this fight. Some people here started working on the bigger ball on the outside or in the middle first. Not really the best choice. You need to take out those small ones on the sides. I believe this one made it down and blows it up. Not too much damage. If this one makes it, we all die and wipe. Fortunately, we had just made it. More circles. Get on the levitation pad. And avoid the areas. Singles. One person. If someone's already in these, so I decide, okay, I could just stay out. And we still take damage. So apparently somewhere someone missed one. Or there was more than one person in it. I have seen parties and been in parties that have wiped to that. Another levitation pad. Again, I use lots of area healing in this, trying to keep my party near to make it easier for me to heal through all this damage and stuff. There, he's almost dead. Yay! Defeated. And there you go, Syrcus Tower. I hope this video helped you out. Please check the channel for other videos. See you next time.